Giants fans, NFL fans, Philadelphia Eagles fans, welcome to the channel. I am Deception and I talk about the New York Football Giants. Look, let's get one thing out of the way already. This channel has been fairly positive about this team within my last few videos. The time for positivity is over. I'm not going to be positive about this team as long as Brian Daboll's the head coach and Daniel Jones is the quarterback. I can't support a team where I'm watching the head coach quit on the game at the start of the third quarter. I'm not going to support a head coach that only tries to run the ball 3 times in the first half. When you have your blindside protector out for the year, when you have good running backs in the backfield, when you know that one of the weaknesses for this Philadelphia Eagles team is the run, and you just completely abandon it, and then your route concepts make no freaking sense at all, and people like to say, hey, it's Daniel Jones holding back Brian Daboll. But the narrative now, and the narrative that everybody should be accepting, is that even when Daniel Jones was benched, the starters were benched, even the Philadelphia Eagles defensive starters were benched, and Drew Lock comes into the game, you still have the same outcome. Nothing ever fucking changes. And I'm getting real sick and tired of watching home games for the New York Giants and seeing more opposing fans in the stadium than our own fans. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't be a season ticket holder for the Giants and go and watch a pathetic performance like that. To see a defense that's putting their heart and soul into every snap, being able to get like consecutive 3 and outs, and then your offense goes out there and lays an egg. Consecutively all the damn time. It never fucking changes. It's so fucking baffling to me that you can get someone like Malik Neighbors back, you can get someone like Devin Singletary back, while also having running backs like Tyrone Tracy and Eric Gray, and none of them are utilized throughout the whole game. You are so fucking stubborn as a head coach and as a play caller. You are not a leader of men. You are not a motivational figure for these players, and they don't believe in you. It's obvious they don't fucking believe in you. The offensive players, the wide receivers don't look like they believe in the routes that they're running. The quarterback looks hesitant and unsure, and I know everybody hates Daniel Jones, and I don't want him to be the head or the quarterback for the New York Giants just as much as you. But when you're seeing teams like Tampa Bay make it work with Baker Mayfield, and you see teams like the Minnesota Vikings be undefeated. I don't know if they're undefeated now. I don't know the results of that game, but they're currently undefeated with Sam Darnold, who is considered a bust. Do not tell me you can't make a game plan that works for a struggling quarterback, that you can't make a system that's friendly for a quarterback that might have specific strengths and weaknesses. And a lot of people in this fan base currently are thinking that everything's going to be fixed, everything's going to be better if we just get Brian Daboll's quarterback, if we can just let him choose the guy that he wants. Well, and I said this in my last video, and it might have been bold to say, it might have been an exaggeration to say that I don't want Brian Daboll to be the mentor and the one that sculpts our rookie quarterback coming in next year, because most likely that's what we're going to get in the first round. And you get a lot of pushback for that, right? Because people want to believe in Brian Daboll, and it sucks when you have to transition from head coach to head coach, but it's better to rip the Band-Aid off now. Look, this is year 3, and we're not seeing any improvement offensively. And I'm not going to be fooled by the Giants anymore, where they'll go on like a 2 or 3 game streak where they look fantastic, and then they come home and then they lay like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row where they can't fucking score a touchdown. The defense did their job today, and Shane Bowen is a piece of this coaching staff that I hope remains for the foreseeable future, because he's actually using the strengths and weaknesses of his defense and creating a game plan around it. Brian Daboll doesn't do it. You know, it's the whole thing about, and it's said to exhaustion, where you're trying to shove square pegs into round holes. Brian Daboll does that consecutively and consistently. He doesn't work with his players. He makes his players work for him. And that's not how you make a cohesive offense, and that's not how you make an offense that performs week in and week out. Because you might go up against a team like the Seattle Seahawks or the Cleveland Browns, and you might have success against them because maybe your specific scheme might be the key to be able to overcome a defense like that. But if you're not willing to adjust, if you're not willing to look at what you have in your tool bag and make a game plan that makes sense for what you have. I don't trust you to be able to come in here with a rookie quarterback that's making a transition from college to the NFL and expect you're going to have success, because you haven't proven to be able to adapt. And the fact that you quit on this game, when you quit on this team in the third quarter, is all I need to see. If you're going to quit on this team, I'm fucking quitting on you. Now, with Daniel Jones, I as much as I like him, as much as I feel like he embodies what a New York Giants quarterback is, and I feel like he does have the talent, he just never had the coaching, he's got to go too. And now we're in a position where I don't know if we're going to be getting rid of Brian Daboll, because here's the thing. I don't want Brian Daboll to get another year where everyone's like, oh, well, let's just let him get his own quarterback. And then we go into 2025 with, let's say, a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders, and it doesn't work out. And so Brian Daboll gets fired. And now this is the situation that we're going to be in. It's going to be the same thing with Daniel Jones, where Daniel Jones is head coach, the guy that drafted him, the guy that drafted him for his system, got fired after his first year. And now we're going to be bringing people in and asking them to cater what they do with personnel that we already have. I would much rather, if this continues for the foreseeable future, if this continues for the remaining weeks of this season, I do not want Brian Daboll back. Joe Schoen is more than welcome to stay. He's proven that he's been able to find quality starters on both sides of the ball. Now the Evan Neal pick, right? That's a big mark. That's a big demerit on your legacy so far with the New York Giants. But when you get players like Micah McFadden, Drew Phillips, Tyler Nubin, even Cordell Flott. I've criticized Cordell Flott in the past, but he's actually played really, really well the last few weeks, and I'm happy to say that I was wrong about him. And it's amazing what quality coaching and people that actually know what they're doing on, whether it be the offense or defensive side of the ball, and you're able to get the most out of your players, what it can do for a player that is struggling, like a Cordell Flott. But that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared that we're going to have Brian Daboll go through the rest of the year. We're going to get our ass kicked at home every time we play. We might win some games on the road, because that's just how the New York Giants are. That's just how freaking inconsistent and fluky that we are. And then he's going to get another year. He's going to draft a quarterback. And then when it doesn't work out next year, he's going to get fired. And then possibly Joe Schoen will get fired. And then now it's up in the air again. Well, the people that we bring in, whether it be a new head coach and general manager, are they going to want to keep our new rookie quarterback or a second-year quarterback? Or is the quarterback that we drafted, is he going to be able to work in their system? Are we going to have to draft another quarterback, or are we just going to ruin another prospect? So that's where I'm at on this team, and I would rather just rip the Band-Aid off now, because like I said, watching him quit on this team today was absolutely freaking deplorable and disgusting. And it didn't change when Drew Lock came into the game. Everyone, like I said, likes to think that Daniel Jones is the one that's causing all these issues. It's Brian Daboll as a play caller. It's Brian Daboll as an offensive coordinator. It's Brian Daboll as a head coach and a leader of men. He's none of those things. We need to bring in like a Mike Vrabel, for example. And I would say someone like Brian Flores, but we all know that got screwed up with the text from Bill Belichick that congratulated Brian Daboll on the hiring instead of sent it to the wrong Brian. Supposedly, that's what happened. Maybe even Bill Belichick isn't an option at head coach. I would much rather take Bill Belichick right now than Brian Daboll. I do not have faith in him to develop players. I do not have faith in him to use players' talents to their advantage. And I do not have faith in him to be prepared any given Sunday, because this Giants offense is so fluky on that one side of the ball. How is it that our defense is being relatively consistent and dominant for the most part of the year, and our offense can either one day look like we're unstoppable, in the next week look like we can't even play against an elementary school team? And I'm sick of it. I am done with it. I will no longer be hyping up this team. I will not be I will not be advocating for Brian Daboll to be remaining the head coach of the New York Giants going forward, and I will not be advocating for Daniel Jones to remain the quarterback of the New York Football Giants for the remainder of the year. And I don't even want Drew Lock to be the starter going forward. Honestly, it's Tommy DeVito time. Bring in Tommy Cutlets. This team, if anything, he's fun to watch. If there's anything that, even if the results are going to be the same, I don't have fun watching Daniel Jones. I don't have fun watching Drew Lock. I would have fun watching Tommy DeVito because at least he's able to improvise and make things happen. And that's kind of what Brian Daboll requires from his quarterback, and that's why he thrived so well when he was in Buffalo with Josh Allen, because that's what Josh Allen can do. Daniel Jones can't do that. Drew Lock can't do that. I believe, even though his ceiling might not be super high, I don't believe his floor is super low. Bring in Tommy Cutlets, and let's see if we can salvage anything from this season. But it seems like the Giants are just doing giant shit. Taking a giant shit on the fucking fans. Watching the game, and all I see are green 26 jerseys. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. I don't even want to wear any of my Giants merchandise. I'm not even wearing a Giant shirt now. I took my fucking jersey off because it felt gross wearing it. And I'm so fucking sick of this team. I am so sick of this team. It's inexcusable. It's unfounded that we can have so much inconsistency on the offensive side of the ball, and the common denominator for that is Brian Daboll and Daniel Jones. Both of those guys need to go. I said in my last video that this game was going to shape a lot of narratives going forward, both for the Eagles and for the Giants. If the Giants were able to win this game, we would have been 1 game out of 500. And we would have had a divisional game win. But now we're 0-3 in the division. We've lost to every single one of our rivals. And I don't think we're going to be able to beat any of them the second time around. The only way I'm even relatively hopeful going forward is that maybe we can squeak out a few wins on the road, but I have no faith in home games at this point, until they prove me wrong consistently. They don't even need to win at home. They just need to be competitive. I told you guys in the past, I'm okay with losing. I fucking hate the fact that we're not competitive. And Brian Daboll was not competitive today. He didn't run the ball at all today. Freaking 3 runs, like I said, in the first half. Literally quitting on the game in the start of the third quarter is absolutely disgusting. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here because I don't even want to fucking talk about this fucking team. It's so stupid. There used to be a time where I used to look forward to watching New York Football Giants games. I used to look forward to, primetime games, and, no matter who we were facing, I always felt like we had a chance. And I feel like ever since Tom Coughlin left, he took the heart and soul of this team with him, because we haven't had that ever since he left. Ever since Tom Coughlin left, ever since Eli Manning left, this organization has been a shallow husk of what it once was. And I'm not gonna be their freaking cheerleaders anymore, because shit's gotta fucking change. There's no way you guys are getting paid millions of fucking dollars, and that's the product that you bring out on the field. I'm done. I'm over it. But if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Deception. I talk about the New York Football Giants. And if you're new, go down below, consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment about your thoughts about the New York Football Giants. Because at this point, this is basically just a therapy session for all of us. And probably have another video basically just going over all of the issues that this Giants offense is facing and the reasons and causes for it. And hopefully I see you guys there. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.